tutor. And actually, I decided to actually work with a lot of this company to actually help people in not just other places, but like other work areas. Like I used to work in a lot of dentist office. I used to supervise and actually help people through those things, because it's a common thing that we have where people learn and they cannot apply. So as I got to 16, 17, 18 years old, I started to become a tutor and actually teach people how to do this. And I actually went to different businesses and teaching them how to study, how do I apply the things I learned. And one of my first jobs I actually worked at was actually at a dentist office. And it was very interesting because I never really cared much about teeth, but then you start clearing and understanding how teeth work and how the teeth kind of affects the body and other things. You're like, wow, man, I wish I knew about this sooner. So for the past several years, I actually started working in dentist office and actually started learning about for myself how teeth actually work. And so I saw other people coming. We were hiring a lot of people, and I was helping with the hiring process. And I was actually teaching people how to study and also the jobs that they were going to work on, how they actually do it. So I actually helped develop a lot of technology in the dentist industry and how to actually make different checklists to set up, an office, how to break down an office, how to do all those things. So I did that for a couple of years. And, I think, toward 20, I'm going to say 20, gosh, I can't believe it's been this long, about 2017, I would say, this or 2016, I say, this is where sort of things got, a little difficult, you can say. So at that point, this is where my mother got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And for me, this was a big hit for me because I was really like, at that point, I was like, oh my God, like, my mother and I didn't have a really good communication together, like in terms of schooling and other stuff, but I somehow got through it, And at some point I was just like, wow, I really want to thank you so much. I think this is probably 2016 or 17 around there, I think, and I really I just appreciate her so much more because she just knew so much and just had the ability to understand things. And, my father even too, he just knows so much. He's like a computer nerd, he's a computer programmer for like 30, 40 years. And he just knows a lot, but my mother, I sort of respected in terms of her teaching me. And when I just found out she had like stage 4 cancer, I was like, wow, I was really beaten down, because I was like, this one person that actually helped me and I didn't realize was helping me was now, going through something. And of course, there's points where like, oh, it was ups and downs, great, not so great, great again, not so great. And then at some point, I believe it's 2017 is where she finally passed away, and at that point I was like, I sort of stepped up. I was like, I feel like I really need to, take ownership. I really need to know who I am and how can I really just be more better? How can I be as good as her or even better? And that's why I strive for. I want to know as many things as I possibly can. I love to learn different things. I'm actually, one of the things I didn't mention, I'm actually a skater. I actually learned how to skate fairly recently. And I actually would love to surf too. That was kind of the reason why I started skating, was to learn how to surf. And, there's just different things that, I just really appreciate because she had so much skill. Like, I can't imagine being in the circus and like just juggling, and I'm just like, it's just really, really funny to me. So I strive for the next couple of years, between 2017 to about 2020, where I was like, oh, I'm learning all these different things. And then of course, COVID hits and you're like, crud, I'm like stuck now in a house. Okay, what can I do in a house? Well, what did mostly people do to kind of just pass the time was, play video games, watch movies. I don't know, worked, sort of worked. I don't know. And, just, I wanted to learn. That's kind of what I really was striving for, is just how can I learn? How can I be better? And, at some point I really got into computers and cell phones and technology because I found technology very, very interesting. I know obviously these days Google and other places are getting a lot of backlashes, on Apple especially, on just what's happening with AI and how AI works and revolving around that, and just, I was super interested in a lot of different things. I really, really wanted to expand my reach, and I really, one of my funnest things is, as I got older, was I really love to talk to people. I really love to communicate, because I find communication is the best way to handle anything, like, anything in marriages and relationships, and any business thing you do. It's like you have to have super high communication level with people, because, things happen in your life that you really want to change, or you really want to just get that opportunity, because that opportunity may just slip away, and it's gone now. So now I believe this is 2021. This is like where COVID sort of was building up, and now is sort of dying in a way, kind of slowly slowing down. And it was interesting is like, one other thing I did forget. So just before COVID, actually, I was what's called a health coordinator, a health event coordinator. So I actually was helping. One of the things that I did pre-COVID was I actually helped organize businesses in doing, what do we call it? I would say health fairs, you could say, right? They actually, we provided a area of like, okay, like each business that we went to, how can we help you get a dentist? How can we help you get a physical therapist? So I did a lot of events in 2019, just before COVID. And I promote a lot of health and wellness things to people, and that's how I kind of came into this. Was I really love to talk to people, really love to get into, to communicate with one-on-one with the person,